I'm going to call this shape a candy for this video because it kind of reminds me of how candy looks. We're going to use one piece of paper and scissors to cut out 2 candies, and we'll have this extra strip that we can use for something else. We're going to fold on the solid lines and cut the dotted lines. And if it's easier to see colored in, I did this one colored in and then cut this strip off. I'm going to start by cutting a square. Just going to line this edge up here. Make sure this corner is even and then crease it. It's easier to work down on the table. I'm going to flip this over and fold this line. It's going to be my cut line. So this line is this line here. And always cutting away from me. It's okay if it's not absolutely perfect. If we made it absolutely perfect, we would be cutting on a mat with a razor blade. Okay, I can save this for a project later. All right, now I have my square. I'm going to do some folds. You could fold this in half. And then cut it, but I'm going to do some folds together before I cut it, more like this. Okay, got my corners even, crease it, crease the other side. Now I'm going to take this corner and bring it up to the top. Take this corner, bring it up to the top, and crease this here. It's be hard to push down because there's a lot of layers of paper. This. And I can take this corner and bring it down here. In this corner and bring it down here. If it gets too hard to fold, you can always unfold it and check and see what you have. So I can see that I've folded these, but haven't folded those. So I'm going to fold it back up. Fold this down here. Let's see. So can you see that there's the square in the middle, like this square or diamond, and that these have all been folded like this, or 2 X's on top of each other? So now that I have this, I'm going to go ahead and cut this line. That's this line. Always cutting away from you and watching your fingers. Okay, so now I've got these 2 separated. I'm going to fold it in half first and then fold it back like this and fold it underneath. So now I have to figure out a way to get these to go down and pop the middle out. So I'm going to go ahead and close it back up. This. Fold this crease down. Fold this crease down. the same thing. So even though the fold was already here, it was folding the other direction, or both directions. So now I can pop it out like this. And then work to push these inside. So I can pinch this down like this. And if it's easier, you can work on the table. And then pull this down and flatten it. And then I can turn it around and do this side. And this side. And then it should bend where I've already folded it in the center and close down. And I want to push really hard on my corners to make sure they fold well. And then there you go. I have a candy. I can fold the other one if you would like a little more practice. Otherwise, you can rewind the video. If I was gonna try and be a little faster, I might fold it together. So now I have both those creases. And then I would just back this one up. And with all my creases there, I could just work my corners. It's easier to see from this side. I could pull this corner in here. And I could pull this corner in here. And since the creases are already there, it should just bend on the folds. And then I can pull this triangle down and push the corner. Flip it over. And do the same thing. Push this corner in. Push this corner in. And work on that. And then pull it apart. And that's the candy.